Diamond Hills. I am here with some brand new books I'm getting ready to put out on the new books display. We have a little bit of everything, some story collection, some fiction, and some nonfiction. So I'll start with the story collection. This one is called Coming of Age. This one is short stories about people of the Jewish faith. So if you are of the Jewish faith or you want to learn more about that, these are good stories to learn about that. The next one is called Coming Up Short. It's about a girl who loves to play softball, but then something happens with her dad, and all of these things that are happening with her dad getting in trouble start to affect her game. So a good, interesting sports book about softball. This one is called The Name She Gave Me. It is written all in poetry, so it kind of looks like a bigger book, but there's very few words on a page, so that makes it a faster read. And it's about a girl who is adopted, and she likes her adopted family, but she just wants to know where she came from. The next one is Love and Other Great Expectations. It is about a girl who is excited to play soccer on a scholarship in college, but then an injury ends her dreams, so she goes on a trip to Britain, and there's a scavenger hunt and a cute boy involved as well. The next one is Nate Plus One. It is a book with LGBTQ themes, and it's about a boy who is going to, gets invited to his cousin's wedding in South Africa, and so he's trying to find somebody to go to his cousin's wedding because his ex is going to be there and he doesn't want to go alone. The next one, Disappeared. This one has it to do with themes of immigration and running from the drug cartels in Mexico and crossing the border to try and find safety in the United States. The next one, April Henry, one of the most popular authors in our library. This is her newest one. It's called Two Truths and a Lie. It is set during the winter time, and it's a group of people that are stranded, and they find out that there is a murderer among them. So can they survive, and who is the murderer? The next one, another really popular author in our library, Gordon Corman. This is his newest one, The Fort. Has to do with some boys who find a secret underground lair after a hurricane and flood, and so they turn it into their fort, and then they find out that one of their friends is using this to hide from a very bad situation at home. So they're trying to keep their fort a secret from everybody who's trying to find it, while also trying to help their friend get out of this bad home situation. The next one is called Answers in the Pages. This one has to deal with book banning. A boy's mom gets hold of a book that he is reading for a school project and decides that she doesn't like it. So, Answers in the Pages. This one, This Wicked Fate, this is book 2. The first book is called This Poison Heart. So the sequel is out now. Alice Austen Lived Here, another book with some LGBTQ themes, has to do with some kids who decide in history class that they want to learn about people who are like them too. So, Finding Jupiter is the next one. This one is a couple of black teens who both kind of are dealing with grief and have a very sad past, and then they meet each other and try and find happiness in each other. A Year to the Day has to do with a girl whose sister is killed in a car accident. She doesn't remember anything about the accident, but the boy that was with them, her sister's boyfriend, does, but he doesn't want to talk about that night. So a little bit of a mystery, like what happened in this accident, and the two of them dealing with their grief and becoming friends. This next one is Caprice, and Caprice reminds me a little bit of Fighting Words. It has to do with a girl who has a really bright future, but she realizes that she has to face the darkness that happened in her past before she can move forward. The Edge of In-Between, this one has some fantasy elements to it as well, but it's kind of a magical realism type of book. But it's about a girl who is also dealing with grief, and she kind of visits this in-between place between death and the living. Next, we have Flirting with Fate. Flirting with Fate is a love story. has to do with the girl meeting this boy on the night that her grandmother passes away, and she starts to realize that maybe her grandmother had something with bringing these two together. So a little bit of grief, love story as well. The next one is Derek Jeter's Switch Hitter. Has to do with a boy who plays basketball and baseball, but then there's an injury and now he has to decide what to do with his life. The next one is Bravely. Maggie Stiefvater is a great author. She writes really good books. This one is based on Disney's Brave. And then in the nonfiction, we have The Sun Does Shine. This one is the Young Readers edition, so it's not quite as long as the adult edition, but it's about a black man who was imprisoned for over 30 years. He was on death row. He was supposed to be executed for the crime that he supposedly committed, but then in 2015, they found him innocent and released him from prison. He had been wrongly imprisoned that entire time. And then the last one is The Waiting Place. This one is about refugees and what life and living is like in a refugee camp. So all of these will be on the new books display. If you are interested, come check them out.